Okay, so here is a little engagement we got into just as I'm getting back into VR here after some time away, flying with my brother as a wingmate. We decided to just engage some ground units because we've just started flying these Henkel 112s with the 20mm cannons and haven't quite figured out what to do with them. They're pretty slow, they don't really climb, and as you're about to see here as I try to engage some of these ground units crossing the bridge, the muzzle velocity on these 22mm shells is really slow. So they just drop like a rock, more than I was expecting. I never really get time to readjust aim before I'm overshooting. And notice that this P-36 and P-26 are diving down on us. So we start prepping to engage with the P-36. Now I'm trying to turn inside so that the P-36 is forced to either dive down too hard, or in this case he just pulls off and goes onto the wingmate. The P-26 decides to dive down on me. So I'm checking the P-36 behind me and my wingmate there, and also notice the P-26 sliding in on my tail and closing a little bit at the distance. So I decide to do a upward Immelman just to try and reverse direction and twist a little bit to get out of the shooting angle of the P-26 before diving back down to try and rendezvous with my wingmate here. And just gaining some speed, hoping that the P-26 can't follow as I get up into close to 400 kilometers an hour. Indicated airspeed. And P-36 is about 0.8 of a kilometer away from me, and I'm gaining a little bit of separation, so don't have to worry too much about the P-36 at that range. It's not going to do too much. Now we're even closer to 0.9 of a kilometer. And I'm starting to close in on the P-36 to give my wingmate a hand here. It's going to take a while to close this distance though. And now my wingmate starts to turn to me to help close the distance. And I give him the call to turn right so that he lines the P-36 on. As he starts to do that though, the P-36 gets a shot on him and lights him up, unfortunately. Again, dealing with those really slow, fast-falling shells. Can't really get a good sense of where they're going to go. It's also a really slow rate of fire, even there when I get a reasonably good angle to fire on. It just flies right through in between the shells. And just rudder down to duck out of the flight firing angle of the P-26 there, before spinning around to try and get back on this P-36. And he's turning inside me, so I've got to just evade his fire and dive away. And at this point, 2-on-1, both of those planes can probably turn inside me. My best bet is just to use speed and run. So I try and gain some separation, all the while just dodging the shooting angles of the P-36 just to stay out of angle of fire while trying to keep my speed up. This is where things start to get interesting. I guess the P-26 got bored, maybe, or otherwise left the fight. So it's just me and this P-36 engaging, and I realize I'm not actually gaining distance separation, so I decide to try and actually get him to overshoot by doing some rolling scissors, but get forced out of the continuous maneuver by trying to evade the shooting angle for the P-36 here. I'm just going to rudder down and try and get inside him here. Can't get my nose up quite fast enough. So now we're just in this kind of rolling scissors dogfight. Both trying to just stay out of each other's shooting lane and not stall. Here I'm just trying to get down and get some speed again, and then try to turn inside him. And roll over. Again, just using my rudder to get down under the shooting angle. And he's right on me this whole time. It's so hard to shake this P-36. Again, just a bit of a hammerhead turn to try and get down behind him. And I basically stalled out. So I've just got to gain enough speed so that I don't crash and regain it just before the ground. The P-36 is turning out the other way, so I'm going to try and just use this moment to get some separation. Try and build up some speed and gain some separation and not run into trees while I'm at it. So I've gained a bit of distance here at 1.16 kilometers. But now he's already closing that distance again. So I'm going to have to think about what to do. He's already firing on me. Not very effectively at that range. But I don't really have anyone coming to help out. Don't really have anti-aircraft guns stationed anywhere nearby. So I've kind of got to just get back into the fight, make sure I'm not giving him a stable firing solution as he closes the distance to within engagement range. So I pull up. I'm trying to do just a tight turn before he can follow and get in under him. Thankfully, didn't give him a firing solution as I made that maneuver. Now I try and just pull up high yo-yo and get over him. And it works for a minute. And here we get back to the slow rate of fire. Try to put some rounds off and he flies right through them. Still have not figured out these guns. And again here, I'm probably a little late rolling back over, but try and get a shot off. And again, no luck. Once again, try and get shots off. No luck. Guns are not something I've found to be terribly effective yet. And again, just kind of high yo-yoing to try and stay over him. He must have throttled back here. He was able to get right behind me. Just did a bit of elevator down to try and make myself harder to hit. And here I pull the rudder down to try and evade, and then think better of it and switch over. And at this point I'm thinking he probably had the drop on me. And I think it's about now, or pretty shortly, that he must run out of ammo. Because he gets some really long, easy shots on me. Like right there, he could have easily put a bunch into me, turning inside me, but nothing happens. So in hindsight, watching this, here I just completely stall out. And just have to focus on getting my speed up again before crashing into the ground. I'm just able to pull up before I crash and get above the trees here. And again, of course, he's inside me, but not firing on me, so he must be out of ammo at this point. Just trying to stay behind me to not be shot by me, not that there's much danger with these cannons. And I managed to get behind him again, but can't get the nose up. Just about stall speed here. So again, just trying to turn inside of him. We're playing our continuous dogfight game. Actually, I guess I think better of it and try to get separation again, not realizing that he's probably out of ammo. I think it's about now that I start to think, why is he not just shooting me down at this point? So I start going in for more aggressive turns, trying to get on his tail and out of his way so he doesn't crash into me. Flip over here, try and get on his tail. And again, I'm pretty much stall speed. There's no way I can bring the nose up, so I've got to dive down and regain speed before crashing. Just thanking my lucky stars he's out of ammo at this point. He's definitely a good pilot in a superior plane. But I'll still try whatever tricks I can come up with. I deke him out a little here to try and get around. And then just try and roll over on him. But in comes a friendly 109. Trying to shoot him down for me, ends up just ramming him. And that's the end of that story.